So what do you think? Which guys do you think stand out in this whole position battle when it comes to the wide receiver core of the Detroit Lions?
Yeah, I think the bottom half will be more of where the battle is. DJ Chark, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jamison Williams, upon his return, you can just pencil them in. Like, they're going to play as much as they possibly can. Those are going to be the top three guys. Jamison being out changes things a little bit, and then you look at the 4 spot, whether it's Quintez Cepheus or Trinity Benson or whoever else it may be. I think that's where the battle comes. And it will be interesting to see because Cephas to a guy like Benson, they play a little differently. Benson's more of like the Amon-Ra player style where he's smaller, quicker, things like that, where Cephas is a bigger body, get him the ball, let him be physical. Personally, as far as that competition goes, I like Cephas. I like them both. Like, I got nothing against anybody here. Nobody that really rubbed me the wrong way last year or the year before. I like Cephas, though. I feel like he's done some things as a Lion, like nothing crazy, nothing that's going to be on any highlight tape 20 years from now. But I feel like he's done things. He's made some catches, played well in some games where every once in a while, once every 5-6 weeks throughout the year, you're like, hey, Quintez Cepheus, like this, he's the guy. He might be somewhat of a guy. So I'm excited to see how he battles. I'm hoping he makes the team. I'm hoping he keeps growing into a more and more prominent role. But I think it'll be interesting. I'm excited to see what the top tier guys look like too. But like I said, not much battle there. What about yourself?
I agree with you, at least as far as Jamison Williams, Chark. I would throw Josh Reynolds in there as well because we did sign him to a 2-year contract. And Raw, I would say those 4 guys, they're locks. They're going to play. And like you said, with Jamison Williams being out, chances are that Josh Reynolds is probably going to play the other outside wide receiver role until Williams comes back. But I do think at the very bottom of that list, because then after you have Williams, Chark, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Reynolds, there is Benson, and then there is Cephas. Now, again, I agree with you. I like Cephas. In the 4 games that he played for us last year before he had that freak injury with his collarbone, he was looking to be a very solid wide receiver. And, in fact, he was the only solid wide receiver Jared Goff had to throw to for the majority of the year. So I like Cephas. And you're right. Both Cephas and Benson, they have 2 varying different styles of play. Benson's more that kind of big, tall wide receiver that if you want to, you can go and throw the ball out there, and he's more than likely going to make the catch. He has some speed, he has some agility, but he's not going to be burning anybody. Benson, on the other hand, has got more speed. He's shifty, he's quick, he's agile. He does fit a little bit more of the Amon-Ra St. Brown role, but he can do a little bit of both. The problem is I want to keep both of them. I want to keep both Benson and Cephas because you can never have too much depth at wide receiver, as we saw last year. The problem is that when you've got this much wide receiver talent, it really becomes a problem then because you've got guys that are vying for snaps. Then once you give those snaps out, then you've got only one quarterback throwing 1 ball per play. So you've only got so many balls to catch. So I would love it if we could keep all of these guys. But chances are one of them is probably going to get the cut axe and maybe might get put back on practice squad if they don't get picked up of waivers. And if I had to put my money on it, I'd probably say Trinity Benson is the most likely to get that axe because let's understand something. When we traded for him last year, he didn't really play a whole lot despite a depleted wide receiver core. And on top of that, we have been hearing some good things about him in camp, but is that really going to overcome Quintez Cephas's experience with the offense from what he had last year and the previous year before that? I just don't think that's enough. So I think it's going to be a fun battle because from what we heard in OTAs and minicamps, those 2 are going neck and neck at it every day. If it wasn't Cephas making a great catch or doing something splendid, it was Trinity Benson and vice versa. So those 2, Benson and Cephas, they're going to provide, in my opinion, a really good positional battle at the wide receiver core.
Man on a mission, I'ma get it. You know I be on a what?